Sub y'all, peace. Welcome to Omar Just TV. This is probably gonna be a short video, but I woke up this morning and I was shocked to hear, that Prince Andrew got arrested. I was real shocked because I didn't think anything was gonna happen to him except, him being kicked out of the royal family and stuff like that. But this is beginning. The whole Epstein saga is having like a slow domino effect. Now I know the Clintons are supposed to testify about their relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. The Clintons usually get away with a lot of stuff too, but I'm kind of worried that they might make this a left-right issue because this is not a left-right issue. I mean, when it comes to corruption, when it comes to crimes, I mean, it's rampant in both parties. This is not just because you're a conservative religious person doesn't mean you can't be a rapist, and vice versa. Or just because you're Jewish doesn't mean you can't be a murderer. Like, religion has nothing to do with it. Politics has nothing to do with it. And, if you've been paying attention to some of the stuff that has come out that some content creators are mentioning, not a lot, but some of them, the law, well, some lawyers have mentioned that some of the Epstein emails, and one email mentions what sounds like, two female teenagers who were 16 who were choked to death, while, you know, being raped and them being murdered and buried in a ranch that Jeffrey Epstein owns. And that's kind of evil, and that needs to be looked at, and they probably need to maybe investigate it, dig the dirt, the ground up, see what they find. I mean, it's bizarre, and I probably would start doing some videos about some of the files I've seen, but so much that I want to talk about that sometimes I get distracted and I want to talk about something else, you know. But this is not the begin. This is the beginning. It's not gonna end, and I think this is gonna be a domino effect. And you know, Noam Chomsky was friends with Jeffrey Epstein after he was indicted. Um, what's her name? Lead singer of Hole, for the widow of Kurt Cobain. I forgot her name now. And there's a lot of questions about whether Kurt Cobain really committed suicide or if she and her male friend actually murdered him. It's kind of hard to commit suicide when you're on heroin, and I think it's possible that he was killed and his wife covered it up. They didn't tell the police about a back house that they had to find out later on. They had to go back in there, and that's when they found his body. And she was supposedly friends with Epstein and emailing each other, and I mean it just gets more bizarre. And Chomsky, what can I say? But at this point, knowing what he said about the JFK assassination, he's not really somebody I look up to or anything. I don't look up to nobody, and especially in the professional class. I'm not in the professional class. I never finished college. I know who Noam Chomsky is, but for a long time, but he's not really a critical thinker. He's not. He's a professor. He's not really. He doesn't really understand. Well, maybe he does, and maybe Jeffrey Epstein has something on him, and that's why he didn't want to talk about the real darker issues of our government. He kind of just stayed with the typical corruption and history of our involvement in invading Hawaii, invading Philippines, and all that. You know, nothing too edgy, and then it's possible maybe they have something on them, not sexual, maybe something else. You know, Noam Chomsky, of course, is friends with the host of Democracy Now, Amy Goodman, who also doesn't believe that there was a conspiracy to murder Martin Luther King Jr., John F. Kennedy, and the fact that Noam Chomsky said that it doesn't matter even if there was, which I find kind of bizarre. If you're gonna be a professor and talk about the Constitution, then you would know that if there was a conspiracy to murder Kennedy, and there was, that violates everything about our democracy. And heads should have been rolled, and the whole government should have been changed at that time, and it never was. So for him to say that it doesn't matter, like, wow. But I heard that a long time ago. So by now, I'm kind of already passing on Chomsky, especially where his stance on COVID-19 and the fact that he believes that people like me who weren't vaccinated need to be put in a separate island, and how do we eat is up to us. Like that, like, in other words, he's framing it as if anybody that's against COVID-19 vaccination is right wing, which is not true. Real progressives, have always questioned certain vaccines and any kind of vaccine mandate. I've always questioned that since I was in my 20s. So this is not something new. But I guess he wasn't. As a matter of fact, I think Noam Chomsky is aware of that, and I think he was lying. Now, why he's lying, he probably is afraid that if he would have said anything that was considered anti-vaccine, that he would have lost money, maybe lost any kind of relationship or, you know, donation, funding, money, or whatever from whatever institution he works for. Might have been kicked out. Same with Amy Goodman. So it's interesting. All this is interesting, but it's good that Prince Andrews is arrested. I'm hoping to see what comes out of it, and a lot of this is blackmail. A lot of it's blackmail. This goes to like a deeper blackmail operation that's been going on in this country since the OSS days. The mafia, the FBI, CIA, actors all blackmailing each other, all having stuff on each other, politicians. So, and yeah, so interesting. It's interesting to see what's gonna happen, and I'm gonna keep this short. This is like a short video, and so yeah, I might do another separate video right after this. I won't put it up right away though, but yeah, interesting what's going to happen. Let's see what happens. Let's see where the domino effect goes. Peace.